Hi, everyone. So I was just walking in nature, taking a little hike yesterday, and this thought came to me, so I wanted to share it with you. So the thing is that we as humans tend to fixate on things. And when we tend to fixate on things, we build things. That's how we grow. That's how we accomplish, right? And I mean, we can fixate on anything. It can be your degree, higher education. It can be something that you call success. It can be finding the perfect person, somebody who, completes you. It can be the perfect body, whatever that means to you. It can even mean healing and spiritual growth, like becoming fixated on learning more about how to heal yourself and finding more ways to connect to spirituality. And the thing is, we wouldn't get things done if we didn't have a little bit of that fixation. And I mean, frankly, I wouldn't even be recording this if I didn't fixate on this thought alone, right? But I'm here to share this message. We're not getting the most out of everything that we are designed to accomplish in this life if we are only fixating. There is a need to zoom out. So for every moment that we zoom in to our goals, we have to zoom out at the same time. Because we all know that some of the best athletes, for instance, practice not only their sport, they train their bodies for their sport. But some of the best athletes also have complete holistic practices. For instance, LeBron James. He is widely considered one of the best basketball players of all time, right? But he also is known, or has been said, to practice meditation, Pilates, yoga. And it's likely not just because he has a team of people to tell him to do it, right? I mean, that would be my bet. I mean, I would bet that he has that innate ability to zoom out. He has fixated on his goal of playing the game that he always wanted to play, becoming the best version of who he can be. But he has that ability to zoom out because as an athlete who has created an empire on the way he plays his game, and as someone, a human who brings in around, $500 million a year, a lot of money in an honest way, right? He has to have some ability to zoom out. And this is coming from someone who is not even a fan of basketball. I mean, go sports, that's how I am. But I'm using him as an example because this fixation, this zooming in period, is a part of creating the reality that you are designed to, that you desire, that you are called to create. And we can all be LeBron James. Sounds crazy, but it's true. We all have that ability to become the highest version of who we are meant to be. If we understand that fixation is not all of it. We have to train ourselves, just like we do with our game, whatever that is, to zoom out and to let go. Often, regularly. Because zooming out it's not a one-time practice. So how do you zoom out? You can zoom out in many ways. I mean, just like LeBron, you can zoom out via practicing meditation, doing other forms of movement if you have your sport, or perhaps move in different ways if you are typically non-active. Moving through yoga, traditional or non-traditional mobility, is a great way to get out of your body or get into your body and realize different things in yourself. Meditation is a great way to get out of your mind, become more present in your thoughts and actions. Perhaps you can practice breath work, intuitive journaling, go for walks in nature, go hiking, camping, whatever you feel called to. There are different ways to zoom out. I mean, this day and age, we're so attached to our devices. And these devices make us zoom in. You're on your phone, you're zooming in to that phone, right? You're on your computer, you're zooming in right here. You have no other choice. Look at the big picture, zoom out. And sometimes that means taking time away from our devices. That means shutting that phone off, closing that computer, and maybe even taking days, right? Not just hours, but sometimes hours will give us some clarity to zoom out. Becoming more present, becoming more attentive to life in reality, in actuality. And I mean, through this time in the world, we are very connected via the internet. And I don't know one person who isn't grateful for the internet. But we only know the truth of ourselves if we zoom out and look at ourselves from a different perspective, because perspective is absolutely everything. Having different viewpoints is absolutely everything. So yeah, for those that don't know me, let me introduce myself. And I'm going to share with you a little story about perspective, because that will kind of explain why I'm sharing this message right now. So my name is Gnosis Rena Mercado, and I'm the creator of Audaz Life, audazlife.com. That's AUDAZLIFE.com. I host retreats. I have intentionally designed and handmade goods to help create ease in your daily practices, whatever they may be. And I offer services to help guide you into a deeper connection to your own soul's purpose. I help people break free of fears, kill their limiting beliefs, and shoot for the stars through subconscious healing in the mind, through movement of the body, and for finding the truest connection to your own soul. Now, the reason I'm building this as a brand, Audaz, is because I myself have overcome so much in this life, in my own life, including near death and other intense experiences. And we all have, right? But the point is that I have learned from these experiences. And I would love to share what I've learned with you to help guide you heal your own healing, to create your own destiny, to connect with your own soul's purpose. So I follow the messages that come to me because now I am what I call intuitive living. These messages come through me, come to me, I now see things in a completely different perspective. And I haven't shared this much with many because it may sound a little wild to some, but I see things in a completely different light. I see things in another level, and I want to share that with you. I want to share how I see things. These messages have brought me to quit my comfy American job with all the benefits and everything like that. They've told me to travel around the world on my own for over a year. They've shared with me how to love so deeply, it almost hurts. They've allowed me to create soul projects and to follow my heart in other ways. And now I'm here to help others do the same. So here's that story on perspective. When I was a kid, I had this recurring dream that would sometimes become a lucid dream. I don't know if you're familiar with lucid dreaming, but it's where you can take control of yourself in your dreams. And I still kind of experience some lucid dreaming. But when I was a kid, I would dream that I was flying. And I remember the one recurring was I was in a bank with my mom, and I would just fly away, and people would be like, whoa, that girl's flying. And then when I was lucid dreaming, I would fly all over the world. I would fly like everywhere. So I had a little bit of an interesting past. Like I went to school in India, and I would sometimes fly back, like in my dreams, I would fly back and forth to India. I would fly to visit my sister. And it was just a really interesting experience because in actuality, when I woke up, when I was a kid, I was afraid of heights. I was so terrified of heights and other things too, but for story's sake, afraid of heights. It was ridiculous. Like, I said I went to school in India. We would go to this bridge in the city in the mountain towns, and I would shake. I would have to hold the rail when I was just holding that bridge. Eventually, I overcame the crossing that bridge, but anytime I'd be on that bridge for a little bit, I would get very scared. I remember another time I was on a Ferris wheel visiting a friend in Texas, and we were taking this Ferris wheel that would swing back and forth. Whew, whew. And I was just shaking so much. I was so scared. Screaming, my eyes were closed. It was just some things like that I remember. And that fear followed with me through till my, mid to late 20s. So fast forward until a few years ago, 3 to 4 years ago, my dad was very sick. He had a cancer and died within 8 months, but this was at the very beginning of that turmoil, very tumultuous time for me and for my family. And I'd already seen my dad in this very near-death state, a state that I didn't expect to see him in. And it was about the time of my ex-girlfriend's birthday. So, looking back, I was probably feeling a little manic. But we were talking about skydiving and overcoming fears and things like that. And I decided to, take her skydiving. I decided that if I was gonna pay for her to go, that I would go too. So I bought us both tandem skydiving trips, and I went skydiving, jumped out of a plane. It was her first time too. She had a great time, wasn't fearful. I was very fearful before I jumped. And my fear sometimes comes in like I become very introverted. I'm not able to express how I typically would. I am an extroverted introvert, but I just became very collapsed and until I jumped. And when I jumped out of that plane, I looked around and I remember exactly what I said. I looked around, I saw this new perspective. I realized in that free fall that I was flying for the first time, and I said, God bless this motherfucking world. God bless this motherfucking world. Those are the words that came out of my mouth, screaming at the top of my voice. The perspective was incredible. Of course, it was the dopamine rush, right? But once that paragliding, once that like parachute came out and we were floating, I realized how powerful it is to overcome the things that we think that we can't, because it is possible. It is so possible. And now I've gone skydiving 4 times so far in different places around the world. I do have a goal of becoming, at least being able to jump out of the plane, pulling my own chute. I mean, I was able to pull my own chute once so far, but I mean, I want to learn more. And I'm already in process of becoming a paragliding instructor. But you know, that's zooming out, zooming in, taking time, taking money, taking, you know, it has to be the right time and place for some things. But this is a deep heart passion of mine to be able to share the message of overcoming your own fears, of overcoming things that you don't think that you will ever be able to. Because when we do those things, it allows us to zoom out even more. It allows us to create a space for ourselves. So, I mean, being able to overcome fears, to release old stories, to connect to your own soul's purpose, to create an abundance of wealth and prosperity, are just some of these outcomes that come from a more balanced body, mind, and spirit. So this is also why I'm calling this podcast the Soul Catchers Club. Because when we do have that ability to zoom out, to zoom in when we need to find different perspectives, to release things that we no longer need, we are also able to connect with the souls that we're meant to connect with in this life. We attract everything that we're meant to have, that we do have within us. But all of those difficult hardships, all of that does go away. Yes, we come across some things, that everything is available to us, for us, and through us. So join me, this podcast, calling the Soul Catchers Club, where we will connect to souls, to our souls, to other souls, and have purpose. And we attract everything that we need, that we desire, that we have. So every week I will be putting out a new chapter as I guide you through meditations, therapeutic hypnosis sessions, other ways, other practices to zoom out, other ideas. And I also will be occasionally featuring some amazing souls, some guests who will be able to bring a new perspective and some interesting pieces into this puzzle of zooming in and zooming out. So I hope you can join me. I hope this message has resonated with you. and please follow along. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a beautiful week. Thank you.